Okay, so while a couple of you are finishing up your last thoughts, anybody want to share about an essay they've written before? Have no volunteers? Oh, Maddie does. What am I? Okay, hey, raise your hand. Somebody, come on, volunteer. Go for it, Maddie.
I wrote, but I didn't. I remember writing one, but it was an expository, but I forgot what it was.
Okay, so we have somebody who's written an expository essay. Expository essays are informational essays. You wrote an autobiography. What for what class? Remember? Who was it about? Who was it about? Your mom? Yes, ma'am.
I think it was like fourth grade. I had to write a story about these pictures. These really cool different pictures.
Okay.
Think about what it is.
Okay, so like descriptive analysis, right? Help if I can talk. Hello. Okay, so what we're going to learn about today is the first step of the writing process. We're only going over one today, and we're going to go over pre-writing. Pre-writing is everything from brainstorming to making an outline of how your essay is going to look. Okay? Okay? How many of you plan on going to college? Most of you. Okay, I know a lot of times now in 7th grade, some things it seems like you're doing it for absolutely no reason at all, am I right?
Yep.
Okay, well let me give y'all a rude awakening. In college, you are going to be writing lots of essays. I've brought in a couple of mine to model the process for y'all. This is an example of me pre-writing. This is me brainstorming. I'm using a concept web to start getting my ideas together for what I'm going to write about. There's 3 papers here. There's another example for a different essay that I wrote. I'm just a really big fan of the concept web. Another thing y'all are going to learn about probably tomorrow is quick lists. I listed all the points that I wanted to hit in my essay, and as I was writing my essay, I actually went through and checked off as I did it. So if y'all are going to college, you're definitely going to be using what I'm going to be teaching y'all. Okay, so I handed y'all some notes that say writing process notes. Make sure those are in front of you and you have a writing utensil. I have gone through and I have underlined the words that go in the blanks, so hopefully this is less confusing than it was in first period. I'll go through and one by one with y'all and help y'all out, because also I've got numbers where y'all have letters. Just letting you know. Okay, so step 1, where it says step 1 up here, right next to it, pre-writing. Underneath that it says define your purpose. Yes. See, y'all are so smart. So when you're defining your purpose, you are asking, what is it that I'm writing about? What is your whole essay going to be about? When pre-writing, don't filter yourself. You don't want to worry about if you have a good or the right answer. Pre-writing is just you getting your ideas down on paper. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't need punctuation. It doesn't need to be spelled properly. It's just you getting your ideas from your brain to your page. So what you want to do is write down as many ideas as you can in a brief, defined amount of time. So pretty much what you're going to do is you're going to sit down, you're going to say, I'm writing about African wildlife. And then you're going to quickly, just give yourself 35 minutes. You're going to write down everything you can think of on that topic. So brainstorming, it's quantity, which is amount, not quality. Meaning it doesn't have to be the most well thought out idea. It could just pops into your head. Say I'm writing about African wildlife and I'm writing down and all of a sudden grass comes to mind. I'm going to write it down anyways. When you're brainstorming, you're just getting it all out of your brain and onto your paper. Okay. So everybody got through C1 on their page? C1? C1. Alright. This is running much smoother with blanks. Okay, so what you're going to do after you brainstorm and get it all down on paper, you're going to pick out your best ideas. And you're going to look for patterns or groupings.
Where's that one at?
What's C?
It should be next to B. B. Pick out best ideas. Oh, I'll get back to that. So you're going to pick out your best ideas, looking for patterns and possible groupings. So back to me writing about the African wildlife. Let's say I wrote down lions, antelope, and warthogs. And I see that they all kind of have a relationship. They all live on like the grassy plains in the African wildlife. So I'm going to kind of group them together. So I know that's one idea that goes together. Okay, so by examining your thoughts, you should be able to find a direction you may want your essay to go. It doesn't have to be a definite right now. You're just kind of getting a sense of where it might be leading. If you've written several related ideas, it's a good indication that you feel strongly about it. So if you're having a lot of ideas that connect to this one thing, you know that's probably the way you're going to go with your essay, because you obviously have a lot to say about it. So E, using a graphic organizer. You can test out your ideas to see if they're meaningful enough to develop a full essay. This is back to if you have multiple ideas that connect. If you have a lot of ideas that connect, you're going to have a lot to say in your paper. And they've got to be meaningful. When you're writing, you have to care about your topic. Or you have to invest yourself in your topic even if you don't care about it. So then you want to see if you can extend your ideas, providing clear details and examples. So do y'all remember your cafe squid? C is for comparisons, A for anecdotes, F for facts, E for examples,
S for
statistics.
Q for quotes, I for illustrations, and D for dialect and description.
There we go. Those things right there is those ideas and the examples. That's how you're going to prove what you're saying in your essay. This is where your cafe squid comes in. We'll look at that here in a little bit. So you also want to think, are you interested in your ideas? Do you like your ideas? Do you think they're good ideas? Do you think it's going to fit well and make your paper sound awesome? You have to be, like I said, be interested and invested. So this is a good time to start thinking about a natural text structure. So your text structure is going to kind of depend on what type of paper you're writing. If you're writing expository, it's purely informational. So you kind of want to pick what the most important things about that topic are and write about those. If you're writing a compare and contrast essay, you're probably going to have your intro, a paragraph that compares the two things, a paragraph that contrasts the two things, and then a conclusion. You're going to start looking at these ideas and knowing what exactly kind of paper you're writing. You're going to be able to form a natural structure for it. And I'll show you all examples here. Don't worry, no stress. Okay, so F on y'all. Am I on there? Yes. F on y'all's. 6 on mine, sorry. using your ideas that you've done, you're going to develop a strong thesis statement. Your thesis statement is your claim or your argument. And your thesis statement is going to be the anchor for your whole paper. Okay. I'm still up here. So an effective thesis statement is essential to a well-crafted piece of writing.
So we're on number.
Y'all are on F.
I'm wrong.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Oh, I remember that one. I know that one.
Okay, I'll go back to the browns. It's a broad statement of truth. Okay, I'll go ahead and read that out for y'all. Okay. For F, develop a strong thesis statement, the anchor for a well-organized and developed essay. Under F, there's a 1. I'll read it for you. An effective thesis statement is essential to a well-crafted piece of writing. It is the broad statement of truth that you will be sharing with your words.
So what's at the first one? I mean, the blank on number 1.
Truth. Yeah, I'll go back for you here in a second. Okay, so G, y'all's G is my number 7. Organize and expand ideas in an outline or graphic organizer. Okay, so y'all's G. Organize and expand. Ideas in an outline or graphic organizer. Providing support, examples, and personal insight. Support would be facts, maybe statistics from your cafe squid. Examples. You remember how we wrote an example about Michael Jordan? You can find other examples out there. Personal insight. You want to give anecdotes. You want to give your own experiences to help support your argument. Okay, so the 1 under G. The most well-crafted essays contain both concrete examples and unique and thoughtful personal insight. Did you get this? You should not plan writing in complete sentences. But it is essential for your essay that you write the main ideas and points where you think they should go in your essay. A complete and well thought out pre-writing plan will allow your ideas to be presented in an organized way that doesn't drift, meander, or confuse, so that it flows. This step should take the most time. So let's say trying to get all your ideas together and everything, it takes time. If you think writing the actual essay is hard, I don't really think it is. I think it's just getting it started. We're find out though, guys. We're going to start giving examples of how to pre-write today.
I didn't even pay for myself. I was good at all myself.
Okay, so does everybody have F and G and everything that goes with it? Okay, I'm going to go back a slide because there was a couple that we missed.
The ones I don't have is the one under E.
I don't have C1.
I don't
I don't have one under C.
Okay, hold on one Okay, with brainstorming, it's quantity, not quality.
Wait, shouldn't it be the other way around?
No, when you're brainstorming, you're just getting all of your ideas on paper. Doesn't matter if they're good, bad, ugly. You're just getting everything out. You're getting it all from your head to your paper.
Oh,
Sorry.
I didn't get that it was like unwritten.
It's okay. I know they're a little confusing. I'm gonna go to that one next. I will help you. We'll fill in the gaps. Okay, so does everybody have A, B, and C? Okay.
I don't have my B.
You know?
He's coming up.
Okay. Thank you, Maddie. Okay, so D is going to pick out your best ideas, look for patterns or groupings. D1. Oh, yes, sir?
Oh, never mind.
Okay. D1 is by examining your thoughts. You should be able to find direction you want to go. If you've written several related ideas, it's a good indication you feel strongly about it. E is using a graphic organizer. Decide if your ideas are meaningful enough to be developed into a full essay. And E1, can you extend your ideas, providing clear details and examples? Are you interested in your ideas? Choose a structure for your topic. The vast majority of you students have this?
Yeah.
Awesome.
What about step 2 today?
We're just doing step 1 today, guys. Y'all are going to continue step 2 tomorrow. Ma'am?
That's all it is. Step 2?
No, ma'am.
We have to go down the right.
Okay, so what I'm passing out to y'all is known as a concept web. Like I showed y'all in my examples, this is just the method I prefer most. Y'all, once you get used to writing essays, y'all kind of figure out what works best for yourself. But I just want to give y'all an example of how to do it. Yes, sir. I know. I didn't write it.
Did you pass?
I'll fix it here in a little
Yeah,
bit.
did you pass?
Okay, so make sure your name and your class period is on this. We will be turning them in. This is a grade.
You have to wait until you have the change.
Okay, so what I'm about to write, y'all don't write. Just watch me and I'm going to kind of work through one with y'all to give you an example of how we're going to do this, okay? So when you're given an essay topic, what's your, gentlemen, pay attention, because you're about to do this on your own here in a minute. So when you're given an essay topic, let's say I was given the topic to write an essay about reading. That's my topic. It's the main thing I'm going to be writing about. In this center box, it says what I think. So I'm going to write down what I think about reading.
Alright.
I don't think so. I'm a lit major. I love to read. Okay, so y'all quiet down. Okay, so my argument for my paper is that I believe reading benefits children. This is going to be the main point I link all my ideas for my essay to. So once you have your what you think about your topic, you're going to go to the left or the right, you choose. Which way should I go? Should I go? Right? Okay. Your next bubble that you're going to go to is why I think it. So I have to sit here and ask myself, why do I think reading benefits children?
Gives them more education.
Okay, it increases their knowledge. Sparkles their imagination. I'm gonna need more boxes here in a minute. Y'all are coming up with more ideas than the first did. Okay, so let's just start with this one and stick with it for a second. Okay, so what I think is that reading benefits children. One reason why I think it is that it increases knowledge. So then you have these boxes labeled how I know it. And these boxes of how you know it is where you're going to use your cafe squid. You're trying to find evidence to back up your claim. So let's say I find a statistic, okay? I'm going to make up one right now. This isn't real, don't believe me. So I'm going to use a statistic that says
4 out of 5 kids love reading.
we don't know if that increases knowledge though, so it wouldn't back up my argument. So let's say kids who read an hour a day total scored higher on their state exams. That's totally a made up thing. Do not take my word for it. But let's just say I want to use it. It probably is. But, okay, so how I know it. 1 hour of reading a day equals higher exams. Okay, so one of my how I know it is I found the statistic online or in a book saying that 1 hour of reading a day increased state exam grades, okay? Well, I need 2 pieces of evidence to back up my claim. So maybe I want to use a personal anecdote, a story. You know, I read to my son every night. We read 2 to 3 books because normally he doesn't want to go to bed. So let's say over an amount of time reading with him every night, I noticed that his vocabulary is increasing. So I can use that personal story. Son's vocab, and I'm just going to draw an arrow for up for increasing. So that would be me using a personal anecdote to prove that it's increasing knowledge because I have this anecdote or this story that says my son's vocabulary is increasing, which means his knowledge is increasing. And normally I would do this on both sides and come up with 2, but for now, I want to get down to this part with you. So once you have your evidence and your argument and everything else like that, for your conclusion, what you're going to try and explain is why it's important. Why is reading benefiting children important?
So we can be smarter and
One at a time, guys.
so we can further education to get adult what we want.
Further education for a better job. Did you have one?
Yeah, so they can make a lot of money.
So you can make a lot of money. That comes with a good job. Okay.
So kids, they're not like people that can't like some people can't read that are older older people they can't read so like having Floyd Mayweather they can't read. We're having kids so like encourage watching people.
Okay, children reading encourages adults to read.
You can go to a better college.
You can go to a better college, which equals better job, which equals more money. Yes, ma'am.
You have to love. You have to
Gentlemen.
love to read in society, and if you don't, it's kind of like great.
I'm saying exactly. You use reading on a daily basis. When you're driving, when mom's driving you to soccer practice, you see road signs. Those require you to be able to read to know where you're going. When you're trying to cook yourself dinner, you're reading directions. You're reading so you can feed yourself, so you can survive. You use reading every day, believe it or not. So, why it's important that reading benefits children? Maybe I want to say helps them grow, survive, live better. Those are all good. So once you have your why it's important, you want to look at this and say, why is it important to me? Or if you're writing it, why is this important to you? So let's say I'm writing this essay about reading being important. And it's important to me because I'm a teacher. I want to see all of you be successful. And that's going to require reading. So my argument as to why it's important is because I want to see students succeed. smart children who know how to read and be important to the world. Yes, ma'am.
Because we're not going to be children, but I would understand we're going to be the adults, doctors, and...
Exactly. Y'all are going to be the adults one day, believe it or not. You're going to run this place. You're going to run this show. You're going to be the ones that are large and in charge. Y'all are going to be the doctors, the nurses, the teachers, whatever, or the professional football players. Whichever way your life goes, you're going to be an adult one day, and you're going to be making the big decisions. So it's important to everybody that you know how to read, and you're knowledgeable, because y'all are our leaders. If you're my doctor, I want you to have gone. I want you to have been smart enough to get through college and medical school and read about all the surgery techniques and everything before I let you cut me open. If you're going to be a teacher, I want to make sure that you're knowledgeable in your content area, so you're not teaching my kid that 2 + 2 = 70.
Or 2 + 2 = 22.
Yeah, that too. So now what y'all are going to do? What y'all are going to do is y'all have y'all's own graphic organizers. I'm going to give y'all a topic. And I'm going to kind of cheat on this topic for y'all because y'all kind of have some examples in your